I mean, when I was really young, and I played for this club when I was 12, 11,
Carlos Alcaraz is a mind-blowing phenomenon. From the moment the young Spaniard picked up a tennis racket, his moments on the court have been nothing short of spectacular. In 2022, after an astounding run at the US Open, Carlos emerged the champion, becoming the second male teenager to win a Grand Slam title since Rafael Nadal in 2005, and the first teenager in the Open era to reach world '1 status in singles on the Association of Tennis Professionals rankings. He had defeated Norwegian tennis player Casper Ruud in straight 6-4, 2-6, 7-6, 1-6-3 sets. Currently ranked as world #2 in singles after sustaining injuries to his abdomen that caused him to miss out on a few major tournaments during the later part of 2022, the Spanish professional tennis player is an honored holder of 8 ATP Tour-level singles titles. The interesting part of it all is that the young player has been on a record-breaking roll ever since he stepped onto the tennis courts at a very young age. At every opportunity presented, Carlos does not fail to display raw talent and incredible playing skills, letting the world know he is just getting started at this game of tennis. What a beast of a player.
He's the future of the men's tennis, but also present.
Every great story begins with a foreword, and a young Carlos Alcaraz's story begins with the birth in 2003 in the populated city of El Parma, Murcia, Spain, to parents Carlos Álvarez González and Virginia García Escandón, both Spanish. His interest in tennis was first sparked as a kid by his father, Carlos Sr., who was once a professional tennis player ranked among Spain's top 40 players. His was a classic case of tennis running in the genes. Growing up and watching tennis players, Carlos developed a fondness for the legendary pro tennis player Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer, who were both in their prime at the time. By 2007, Carlos had begun training at the Real Sociedad Club de Campo de Murcia in Spain before joining the Juan Carlos Ferrero Sport Academy in 2018, right before he turned pro. Training with the renowned coach who was a former world #1 and a Roland Garros champion was not only an exciting change, but took his game to a whole new level. The young athlete started to adjust to an initial training system that involved him traveling to Ferrero's academy in Villena for 2 days every week and then spending the rest of the week at Murcia, his hometown. Carlos was ranked world #22 as a junior professional tennis player and starred in various ITF Futures events and ATP challenges. He clinched 2 titles while on the International Tennis Federation Junior Circuit and 3 more on the ITF Men's Tour after turning professional. Since the arrival of the Big Three, Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic, there has been a want for new and sensational athletes, players who showed so much promise from a very young age and were ever ready to break old records and set new ones. In came Carlos Alcaraz, and just in time, causing so much buzz in the tennis world that one could not fail to notice him. In 2017, Carlos Alcaraz García, who was just 14 at the time, led his team to victory at the Spanish 14 and under European Summer Cups tournament. The young Spanish athlete exhibited high-level hand and eye coordination, organization with his teammates alongside remarkable shot-making and playing abilities. He was not afraid to approach the net and was very precise in his shots. Little wonder they emerged victorious at the end. It proved to be just the tip of the iceberg for the young tennis player. That same year, at the prestigious Les Petits Allées Mondiales Lacoste Junior Tennis Tournament, Carlos once again proved that he was made for the game of tennis. During the first round match of the tournament, he played against de Villepin Alexandre, a Frenchman who proved to be absolutely no match for the shot-making abilities of the Spaniard. Carlos began the match with a powerful serve to the left side, returning each of his opponent's serves as fast as they came. Advancing to the net intermittently, Carlos made sure not a single shot was dropped throughout the set. With each powerful dive and return serve, it became obvious that de Villepin was getting frustrated at his inability to wear Carlos down. He was quite unprepared for the young Spaniard. Carlos was playing with incredible mental acuity for such a young player and seemed to know where each shot was headed right before they crossed the net. The game ended in favor of Carlos Alcaraz, a 6-0, 5-2 win. If there's one thing that the young Spanish professional athlete does well, it's to give his audience a satisfactory performance and leave them in awe of just how good a player he is. One of the remarkable moments where Carlos showed just how skilled he was at the game of tennis was at the finals of the 2017 Spanish 16 and under tennis nationals. Carlos faced his fellow countryman Nicolas Alcaraz at the finals of the tournament. Alcaraz was 2 years older than him and was the best playing 16-year-old in Spain at the time. Although the spectacular match ended in favour of Alcaraz, it showed just how advanced Carlos was in his plays, from his powerful forehand to his topspins, dives and excellent foot movements. Carlos was quite developed for his age. He was playing at a level most would expect to see on the ATP Tour, and doing so with so much fun and ease. Alcaraz took the trophy home after winning in 7-6-6, 4-6, 7-5 sets. While his well-wishers were still basking in the bliss of his win at the European Summer Cups and the Lepesitas tournament, Carlos achieved an even greater feat at the 2018 European 16 and under tennis championships held in Moscow. He became the second Spanish professional tennis player in 3 years to emerge the winner at the tournament. It was no easy feat for him, as he was made to play 7 games in both sets of the first round, but once again, the young player showed just how adept he was at playing the game of tennis. Carlos advanced to the quarterfinals after defeating Russian tennis player Igor Agafonov in 3 sets to face ranked number 5 player Holger Rune. Holger had just emerged the champion at the European 14 and under the previous year and looked to clinch the title in succession, becoming the 3rd ever player to achieve that. Carlos, however, had other plans for the match and won in straight sets, moving on to the semi-finals. He won the next match in 6 games over Yorom Kim, making it to the final to face Elmer Mola, the 2017 Bucharest 14 and under champion. As a testament to the remarkable player he was, the match ended for Carlos Alcaraz in straight 6-4, 6-3 sets in favour of the young athlete. Shortly after he turned pro in 2018, Carlos became the first 15-year-old player in 10 years to defeat a player ranked among the top 200 on the ATP rankings. This was a second-round match of the 2019 ATP Challenger tournament held on clay courts in his hometown Murcia, and his opponent was Spanish world number 140 Pedro Martinez. Once again, Carlos showed how unafraid he was to approach the net, using his opponent's double faults to his advantage. His stance, speed and ability to return each of his opponent's serves as fast as possible showed the level of mental work the young athlete put into each of his plays. Midway through the match there was a tiebreak, but the match ended in favour of the Spaniard in 6-3, 6-4 sets. Although the talented professional athlete shares a fondness for clay courts, much like his idol Rafael Nadal, he has also proven time and time again that whether the match takes place on clay courts, hard courts or on grass, he is ever ready to bring his A-game to the event. The immense potential he possesses is no secret to anyone who takes time out to watch him play, such that he has been designated the next big deal on the men's tour since the legendary trio Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal made their debut. A complete and well-rounded player, Carlos possesses a powerful and aggressive forehand, which he mixes up with a winning backhand ground stroke that he uses to deliver clean shots. He possesses an impressive net game that he does not fail to show at each game, seizing every available opportunity to advance towards the net. Also a remarkable athlete with excellent footwork, he is very fast on his feet and hardly misses a shot. More often than not, Carlos finishes his points with a well-placed and greatly disguised forehand drop shot that causes opponents to constantly be on defensive mode. The awesome part of it is that he does all of this with a smile. The young athlete clearly enjoys just being on the court and playing the game he loves. A player with a competitive spirit, Carlos' amazing personality and ever-pleasant attitude towards the game of tennis endears him to the heart of his peers and fans alike. When asked what it feels like to be compared to his idol, the 22-time Grand Slam champion Rafael Nadal, Carlos says, "It is neither a source of motivation or pressure, as there will never be another player like Rafael in history. I am Carlos," he said.